Tatu Katoa. Can I acknowledge in absence Mutt Lange, who through this incredible act of generosity has enabled us to come together and celebrate conservation and generosity of spirit in an incredible way, and take up your challenge, Willie, of making sure that New Zealand appropriately, in good time, acknowledges this extraordinary act of conservation gain. Can I acknowledge James Guild and the trustees of QE2, Russell as the farm manager and agent here in New Zealand, Abel Tasman and the team from Motatapu, Barry and the team from DOG. It's an incredible privilege to be part of this formal announcement. I can get all excited when QE2 presents me with 30 hectare covenants on special parts of New Zealand. I worked out that if my speech time was going to be proportionate, you'd be here for about a month, and I won't make you suffer that long. But such is the extraordinarity of the scale of 53,000 hectares of land. But actually, even more than that, if you were asked to identify some of the extraordinarily special places of New Zealand, Arrowtown and Wanaka and this area of central Otago would be right up there. And for us as a country to be able to secure a conservation covenant over not just an incredible area in terms of landscape but in size is what makes today that very, very special occasion. It's important to acknowledge the work that the QE2 Covenant and the concept has had since, James, the organisation was established 37 years ago. I wonder if those founders from the conservation movement and the farming community, who had a vision of farming and conservation being able to make gains for New Zealand's nature, would ever have dreamed an event of this size and scale coming from the establishment of the New Zealand's QE2 Trust. I also want to say this announcement is absolutely consistent with the government's new direction for DOG to try and get Kiwis, including, and I'm going to describe Mark as an honorary Kiwi, because he's certainly more than earned that, is to get Kiwis to understand what probably Motatapu Edward has always understood, and that is that the huge natural treasures that we are blessed with in New Zealand, and the responsibility that's not just dogs, but all of us, if we are to pass on the places and species that are special to these lands to our grandchildren and their grandchildren. It was a bit of a tussle at budget time because we are a bit squeezed. I think the local member, Bill English's budget surpluses was wafer thin. He's going to announce it next week. I think we're now calling it tissue thin. But despite that, managed to still find an increase in QE2's budget from $3.2 to $4.2 million this year, in recognition that the government actually sees this role of conservation in future is going to be far more about the sorts of valuable partnerships that we are acknowledging and celebrating today. And my last point is a little tiny bit political, you'll excuse me. 'Tis the season. But there's been a huge debate raging over the last 5 days around New Zealand taking a closed-door exclusion approach, that we don't want no foreigners here. We certainly don't want them buying our farms. I say to people, actually, open your eyes. There are incredibly generous, well-motivated, good people that want to be part of the New Zealand story. And we need not be fearful of that. That no, we should be rightly saying that where our farms are to be purchased by overseas people, we want to see some benefit for New Zealand. But for those that deny there is any benefit, I'm sorry, today's announcement blows any such criticism completely out of the water. I just want to again say thanks to Russell, to Soho, and most particularly to Mutt, to all those who've been of part of this vision for an extraordinary area of landscape and biodiversity value that has been protected for future generations. Today is, and really today, for conservation and for the future trust. Thank you.